Love is my brand new single, and before anyone asks me, I don't actually remember who I wrote this song about or why I wrote this song in the first place. It's all about going back in all those memories of the first person that you fell in love with and cherishing those moments. And it is one thing that you never ever will forget. There might be 10 people in life that you fall in love with, but you're never going to forget that first person you ever fell in love with. Lucky Charms is one of those songs that I wrote years ago, and I kind of just still loved it, but it never ever felt right on any of the records that were coming up. But I think there was always going to be a place for it to come at some point. It is just one of those songs that you could relate to being like a partner, or just being like your best friend or a family member that you're really, really close to, and they are your lucky charm, and they are the one thing that you can't live without and you cherish the most, and they just make your life better and better. And that's what this whole song is about, realising and appreciating the people that you have in your life, and appreciating what they do for you, and appreciating that love and support and everything that you get from them, and making it into something special. Feeling Like a Puppet is the oldest song on this record, and I actually have played this song live in quite a few times. When I did some gigs years and years and years ago with the keyboard and tricked the keyboard, I remember going on the train and tricking the keyboard with my friend all the way along Princess Street to get to the venue, then ended up being the wrong venue that was at the other end of Princess Street, and we had to walk all the way back. It was an adventure, but I played this song live then, and it was kind of a way of like me putting together a feeling at that point in time of realising that there was like a secret or something that I didn't feel happy with that I wanted to let out. You could say it was drag, or you could say it was other things, but it was one of those ways for me to really let it out and be that way. But I think a lot of time, and probably now when I do think about it, it probably was drag, because it was going to be part of this little record that I was playing of just me and the keyboard, and it never happened because I felt disconnected from the art and disconnected from what I was doing, that I just never wanted to make it. So I was like, and it kind of just sat in the back burner for all these years until you get to hear it. And it was the first song that I actually made for this album, excluding Losing Myself, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. Just a little piano ballad, not to take away from the true meaning and the true message that sometimes it is a lot better to step out of the box and share your story with everyone, because keeping a secret inside can really like hurt you and really make you feel so horrible and so down that you can't function properly, because these things are like keeping you in. And whether it's just one person, or whether it's making videos or writing messages or writing letters to yourself, even some way to like try and let it out is the best thing to do. Nothing But the Truth came about because sometimes I write songs from like experiences and things like that, and this isn't a song that's from an experience. This is a song where sometimes I just write titles down of songs and ideas that I have in my head, maybe from like films or anything that I saw, and I wrote down Nothing But the Truth, and then it kind of was like coming together. Sometimes you make mistakes in life, and I feel like this song is one of those things. It's like, should you own up to making those mistakes, or how's it going to affect you? And sometimes it's like you don't realise at the time how it will, because you're not thinking of the future ahead and how that will impact you. But sometimes you do have to just be honest and tell nothing but the truth, because it might hurt you at the time, but it might be better than the wrong one just to be open and honest. And I think that's what this song's all about, is being open and honest from the get-go, because sometimes you can get too caught up in people that are just telling too much lies, and it's like, it's so much just better to be honest and truthful. Happy Ending is a song that is kind of about the complete opposite of the title. I think people are going to go in to listen to this song and think it's like, oh, she found a happy ending and she got it. It's actually not. And kind of is one of those things where it's like, everything has to fall into place for you to have that happy ending with a person. Sometimes things happen for the better, and sometimes you can't just have the happy ending that you want if the other person doesn't want that. That's kind of what this song's about. Being in a relationship with someone that doesn't want the same things as you, but you're wishing for that Prince Charming or princess that you really, really want to have that happy ending with, but it's just sadly not them. The future, as I explained earlier on, is the second part in the continuation of life. It brings everything together, it brings all the concepts, all the ideas together in this one song, and puts the whole story that I'm trying to tell to you on the table. And you may have your own story that you make listen to this album, but for me this is my way of telling you the story that I was trying to portray and share it with you all. And I enjoyed writing this song because it was kind of a fun way to write, just using every single title from the song, and it kind of took me back to writing Scream on my EP because it was using something that wasn't the normal way of writing for me, and I really enjoyed it. I really do think that this album takes me out of the box and lets you in to see parts of me that you didn't know and get to know them a little bit more, and kind of see that sometimes you can be this smiley bubbly chick that you all see, but maybe that's not what it all is. And you got to see that in Losing Myself, but this is a lot more in-depth look at some songs and some things that happen in life that I experienced, and I'm so happy now that I get to share this full album with you all. And in the end I'm like, do you know what, I'm kind of glad this is my debut album, because it's a little bit of a different side to what I totally had in mind for Fierce and Fabulous and what it's going to be, because it's a very bright and colourful album, and this is still bright and colourful, but it's a lot more personal than what Fierce and Fabulous is as such, and it's kind of nice to be able to share that with you all. Thank you so much for watching this episode of A Look in the Box. I'm so happy to see you all loving and enjoying the album, and I'm so happy that I get to share this little behind the scenes look at it with you all. So comment below what your favourite tracks are, what you would like to find out about the album, and what else you would like to see on this channel. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you all in the next one.